Hi everybody and welcome back to our channel Amor Ameruano. Before you get any further, if you haven't seen part 1, I highly suggest you look for this thumbnail, watch that video. The link will also be in the description below, but you're going to need part 1 to give part 2 a lot more context. The second video was supposed to be of his reaction to the celebration, finding out that it existed, all of that stuff. I do have footage, however, it was not the reaction that I was expecting. We decided as a couple that even though things did not go according to plan, we still wanted to be transparent and share what had happened because we're not perfect and we don't want to start this channel out by pretending that we are and that everything always goes wonderfully all the time. We filmed a reaction to the reaction as a couple, but the sound was absolutely horrible. So this is me trying to recover a lot of what was in that video. And of course, it's going to be run by him before I publish it so that we're both in agreement on what's being posted. New Year's Eve, Saturday night, the 31st, I was in Alex's apartment waiting for him to arrive and he surprised me. I had asked him to text me before he headed over to the apartment so that I could get some stuff taken care of or at least start preheating some of the food in the oven. And he forgot. When he got to the apartment, I had all of this food out just waiting, so I had to scurry and put it away. It was the first time we'd seen each other for a couple of weeks, so we hugged and we chatted a little bit. And at one point during our conversation, he turned and saw that the table was set.
Pero no vamos a salir. ¿Por qué no? Yo quiero salir.
In order to get Alex to the apartment on time and ready, I had told him we had reservations, so he was fully prepared to go out for New Year's Eve. And that's something that he typically does. So I figured it wouldn't be anything for him to think, oh, okay, I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing that I've normally done. And so I've just gotta get ready, get dressed, and then we're gonna go out. The reaction was just 100% negative. Like, are you kidding me? So you're doing this to avoid going out. I don't understand why you would tell me that we're doing blah, 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 just off the wall. And I was like, Alex, I'm trying to tell you what's happening right now. This was a surprise. Like, yay, surprise. Like, do you get it? And he was livid. Well, you lied to me. You didn't tell me the truth. And I said, of course I didn't tell you the truth. It was a surprise. I was trying to get you here so that you would be able to celebrate with us. And look, I have this food, we have this, and this is from your country, miss your family, and you're homesick. And so I'm trying to help. And guess what? Your kids are coming. That was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know what was going through Alex's head at that point, but the response was a very negative and not healthy one in terms of, well, do you really think that I wanted this? I didn't ask for any of this. Nobody told you to do any of this stuff. You didn't really think about what I wanted. I can't believe you involved my family. Why would you do such a thing? Offended isn't even close to what I felt. And I just started crying. And so at the same time that I started crying, we hear a knock at the door and his kids are at the door. So Alex comes over after he lets the kids in the apartment. He comes back to me and he tries to continue talking to me about things and essentially says, well, good effort, but this wasn't what I wanted to do. And we argued for probably about 15 minutes. It wasn't loud, but the very fact that his kids were in the apartment, it just made me feel like, ugh, they know what's going on. You know, even if they don't speak Spanish fluently, you can tell when somebody's tone has escalated and they're just upset, you can hear it. So I just remember saying to Alex, you know what? I'm done. This is ridiculous. This is selfish. This is rude. This is inconsiderate. I can't believe you're reacting like this. Your kids are here right now. You're more concerned with what it was that you wanted to do than with the fact that they are here. I don't know why that is, but I do know that they're hungry because I told them to come hungry. So I'm going to go outside and prepare everything and get the food on the table. Let his kids know that food was ready, got the food on the table, decided I wasn't going to eat because I was this close to leaving. While I was in that space of not knowing exactly what my next step was, I decided that I needed to leave the apartment. So I walked out downstairs, got in my car, just needed to breathe a little bit. And when I came back upstairs, Alex and his kids were talking. I took that moment to kind of say, well, you know, I've decided I'm gonna go home. This was really about you and your dad anyway, so I'm glad that you're spending time together. I don't want to get in the way of that. So I hugged both of his kids, wished them a happy new year, and I went back to the bedroom to start collecting my things. Alex came into the room, started telling me how he had made a mistake because his kids had told him everything, essentially, that I had been planning and the reason behind it, my intentions behind doing what I did, and had explained things to him, I guess, once he calmed down, that I wasn't able to tell him while he was riled up. So he comes into the bedroom and apologizes profusely. Hearing that he was apologetic, hearing that he understood a little bit more, it was enough to help me get to a point where I wasn't like jumping from, okay, I'm here and now I'm leaving. We squashed the beef for that time frame, and we were able to spend the rest of the New Year's Eve night with his kids and ended up having a good time. But it took so much out of me emotionally that I think I was just in this place where I didn't even know how to process what had happened. Alex and I have a counselor that we see on a regular basis that helps us through our differences. And so we have since talked to that person about the situation that occurred. It was brought to our attention that we both could have done different things to preserve the night more than what we had. Apart from that, we also learned that while we're in a relationship, we don't necessarily always think as a team. More specifically, in this instance with Alex, it was kind of what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. This is my routine. This is what I'm used to. And not necessarily seeing the blessing or the surprise that was, hey, look at all of these different things from my culture that are here. Look at my children. I'm going to be able to spend time with my children today. His gut reaction was to go to, this isn't what I'm used to doing, and I didn't know it was going to happen, and I have feelings about this. Accepting his apology was really hard for me because I felt so hurt. But when everything is said and done, after we talked and after we evaluated with our counselor the reasons why things had happened, we both committed to the idea of working through those kinds of differences and moving forward in our relationship. We always say at the end of our videos that with God, all things are possible. And as two Christians, that is something that we deeply believe in. At times like New Year's Eve, and at times where things get really difficult between Alex and I, that's the one thing that I cling to, because I know that, he put us together, and at the end of the day, it's possible if we rely on him, both of us, to progress and to stay together and to have a healthy relationship. That's the update. It might be anticlimactic, but we wanted to make sure that we were truthful about what happened and that we didn't lead you all on with pretenses of how wonderful things are all the time. I mean, it's just part of what relationships are. Next week, I'll be back with Alex and we'll have a lot more content together moving forward. I wish you all the best first week of January possible. Have a great night or day wherever you are in the world. And just remember that with God, all things are possible. See you next time.